Fox News. Breaking news.
What if that UFC ring that's going up at the White House is not just about a fight night? What about a full-scale American comeback? While the media fixates on spectacle, the Trump administration is doing something much bigger right in front of the country. Restoring fountains, cleaning monuments, reviving public spaces, upgrading landmarks, and turning Washington into a living proof of concept for national renewal. This is not random. This is not cosmetic. This is a message. President Trump appears to be saying that decline was chosen, neglect was tolerated, and now restoration is being demanded. And once you see the pattern, you just can't unsee it. I'll tell you why this matters. Because for years, Americans were told to just simply accept disorder as normal, decay is inevitable and ugly, unsafe cities as the unavoidable cost of modern life. During the previous administration, the public was expected to lower its standards, while the ruling class lectured everybody else about what could not be fixed. President Trump is smashing that lie. And look what's happening in the nation's capital. Lafayette Park, fountains are running again. Historic statues cleaned, graffiti removed. Union Station, Columbus Circle restored. The reflecting pool nearing completion. And now a massive UFC Freedom 250 event positioned right on the White House grounds as America approaches its 250th birthday. The point is bigger than sports. The point is confidence. The Trump administration is making Washington say something again, that America should look strong, should feel safe. It should inspire pride. And with the new Model Cities initiative, they're signaling that what's happening in D.C. is not the exception, it's the template. And speaking of restoration, sometimes the comeback story starts at home, with your own health and with your own family. You've probably seen the clip, Joe Rogan sitting with Mel Gibson talking about people close to him who went through serious health struggles and then saw dramatic turnarounds. Rogan brings up light-based therapies and how they impact the body at a cellular level. Gibson says it straight to stuff works. That got my attention because in my own life I watched something very similar unfold. For a very long time, my wife was dealing with constant discomfort and anxiety. One of those situations where you just want real relief, and that's why I want you to check out Red Light Therapy from Jonathan Otto like we did at myredlight.com. If you've been curious, now is the time. I've got countless interviews with Jonathan that will blow your mind. Just check out the channel, you'll see them. But you got to use, when you go to the site, use NNN25 for individual items or NNN30 for bundles. Go to myredlight.com and see what's possible for your health. Now back to the story, because what Trump is rebuilding in Washington is really about restoring confidence across the whole country. See, here's the angle the legacy press still doesn't want to admit. The UFC octagon is becoming a symbol. Trump even joked that maybe they should never take it down, comparing it to the Eiffel Tower. You see, it's funny on the surface, but politically it's revealing. This White House understands imagery, energy, and national branding better than its critics do. A clean Capitol, restored fountains, patriotic crowds, giant screens, Flag Day weekend, America 250 branding. This is not an isolated event. It is a declaration that America is done apologizing for being strong, vibrant, and unapologetically proud. President Trump posting saying he might leave up the UFC ring at the White House, comparing it to the Eiffel Tower.
Know that in Paris, France, the Eiffel Tower, 1889 it was built. It was supposed to be taken down immediately after the World's Fair. And then they said, we sort of like it. Let's leave it up a little bit longer. And then they said, let's leave it up longer and longer and longer. Well, they never took it down. And, we're building something in front of the White House that's quite attractive to a lot of people. It's going to have the big UFC fight on June 14th. And I'm looking at it, and maybe we'll never, ever take it down.
Oh, man. President Trump knows how to troll, doesn't he? Up next, the official poster says it flat out, America needs a champion. Less than 2 weeks. Freedom 250 at the White House Sunday, June 14th. The countdown is on. America needs a champion. That is going to be a fight for the ages. So the Trump UFC pushes pure Trump strength and pride. While the media sneer, the Interior Department says the cleanup's already happening in the Capitol. Fountains restored, graffiti gone, statues cleaned. 22 fountains restored. This is the Department of Interior. Graffiti removed, statues cleaned. Thank you, POTUS. We're making our nation's capital safe, beautiful, and worthy of the greatest nation on earth. So it's not just a fight night, it's a visible cleanup campaign. Next, the Justice Department rolls out a $300 million Model Cities initiative to back the blue and crack down on violent crime. Today, we're excited to announce the Model Cities Initiative, which is the next step in this administration's mission to restore law and order, back the blue, and make America safe again. Here is Acting AG Todd Blanche.
President Trump promised the American people that this administration will restore law and order, back the blue, and make America safe again. We have already seen incredible success in Washington, D.C. and Memphis, Tennessee, and now the Department of Justice is excited to announce the next step in that commitment, the Model Cities Initiative. Through the One Big Beautiful Bill, the DOJ will be surging $300 million in grant funds to support cities who are serious about reducing violent crime, restoring public order, and modernizing their public safety infrastructure. This money will be awarded to 2 to 4 cities with a population of 100,000 or more who hope to make their cities safer and more secure. The strongest applications will not come from one office or one representative acting alone. They will come from jurisdictions that offer true partnership, where the mayor, the prosecutors, the sheriff, police leadership, and other key officials are aligned behind one public safety plan. We want to see a whole of government approach and commitment, one application, one strategy, and a clear explanation of how these dollars will be used to improve law and order. President Trump, this Department of Justice, and this initiative is focused on results. Apply now at www.justice.gov/grants.
Well, that should get some people unified, lined up. Submissions due September 1st. DOJ says cities are serious about law and order can get federal muscle. Now you'll hear Trump himself make the case, touting crime drops and laying out how the money is supposed to put more cops on the street.
From the very first day I took office, our administration has waged the most successful war on crime in American history. Last year, the murder rate saw the single largest decline ever recorded, falling to the lowest level in 125 years. We've reduced the fentanyl coming across our border by 60%, from Washington to Memphis to New Orleans to our southern border. We are restoring law and order to America. Now we're taking our next big step to defend public safety in America. At my direction, the Department of Justice is beginning what we're calling the Model Cities Initiative to slash violent crime in major metropolitan areas all across our country. In selected cities, the Department of Justice will provide $300 million in grants to hire police officers, modernize equipment, provide training, and improve law enforcement. This historic funding will go to confronting substance abuse, preventing youth crime, and combating repeat offenders. In short, we're committed to making historic investments in improving the quality of life of city residents nationwide. For the next 90 days, any city or local government representing a population of more than 100,000 people can apply to take part in this exciting new program. It's amazing. Tell your local representatives to apply now by going to www.justice.gov/grants. With your help, we will put more police on our streets, and we will put dangerous criminals behind bars where they belong, and we want to keep them there. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good time. You're amazing people.
Thank you, President Trump, for that message from the White House. It's simple: fund police, lock up criminals, stop coddling repeat offenders, And while that policy push rolls on, crews are rebuilding the nation's front yard. The reflecting pool getting its new finish. Workers have covered the reflecting pool from one end to the other with the new blue sealant and are now working on some of the edge trim. So there's some of the action underway. It's part of the broader makeover. Viewers are watching in real time. Up next, another piece of the Capitol comes back to life as the fountains in Lafayette Park start running again. How beautiful. As I've walked through that park so many times, and I've seen those fountains in just a state of disrepair, and it brings a tear to my eye just to see those beautiful fountains running. Truly, I've walked through that park so many times on the way to the White House, and I've seen just filth. And President Trump, like, cleaning it up. It's just beautiful. So from the reflecting pool to Lafayette Park, the message is clear. Clean it up, fix it, make it worthy again. Crews are hard at work here. Some more visuals from the UFC. The UFC set up at the White House grounds. It's going to be an amazing fight. And I will have people on the inside, and should be able to get some exclusive visuals for you, as I've explained to you that they're being real tight on press. They're even closing the briefing room for this event, which is actually unprecedented. We will not even be allowed on White House grounds. They're moving the entire press corps, except the White House pool, to the Ellipse, which is across the street. I talked to some White House folks, fellow correspondents there, and I said, what are you guys going to do? Like, what's your plan? I'm like, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go and sit there and be, herded up like cattle a half a mile away. I mean, a lot of reporters I know aren't even going to be going to the Ellipse. So that was my immediate reaction. I knew it was going to be that. I didn't realize it was going to close the briefing room, but that's what it is. And then we have this. Meanwhile, another fight is breaking out in court where Trump's allies are raising serious questions about the judge in the Kennedy Center case. You hear about this? The judge who ordered Trump's name stripped from the Kennedy Center married his wife in a ceremony officiated by Merrick Garland. That wife, Amy Jeffries, represented Lisa Page during the FBI texting scandal, helped the January 6th committee, and now serves as Joe Biden's personal attorney. Her former law firm represented E. Jean Carroll against Trump. Trump says Judge Christopher Cooper has a total conflict of interest and asserts he can't be treated fairly in Cooper's court. So the Kennedy Center fight is exactly why so many Americans don't trust the system. Same insider circle, same anti-Trump crowd. Meanwhile, back in Washington, the makeover keeps moving. Union Station, Columbus Circle getting long overdue renovations. Here's Elena Austin and her take on what's going on there.
I am at Union Station here to report on the public's feedback to the fountain. It has not been running since 2007, and so now tourists and members of the public, locals as well, are admiring the beauty of this revamped project. Now, we know the Trump administration has been doing the Make DC Safe and Make DC Beautiful again. So I have overall heard very positive reviews to seeing this fountain back up and running. And there's also a 15-foot tall statue of Christopher Columbus, the Columbus Circle of Union Station. Now, the Trump administration, they had said through the Department of Interior, through the Department of Transportation, that they wanted to make sure the focal point that when you arrive in D.C. via train, you arrive by bus, that it looks more sightly. This area had been overtaken with homeless encampments, the tents, all types of odors that were not very pleasant. Used to be the first thing that hit you when you came into DC. I actually used to live right by Union Station here. Some people think the money could be spent better on other priorities, but overall we're seeing the reflecting pool. That's supposed to be done within the next couple of weeks. It'll go from being gray to what they're calling American flag blue. So it's going to be a more vivid, deeper color. And all of this, of course, coinciding with the America 250 event and the 250th anniversary of the U.S. founding and government system. So overall, I'm hearing from people who they're excited to come out here, walk their dogs, and just enjoy that architectural beauty that you see here. Again, there are some people that are not in favor of these projects and they think that the money needs to go to other issues. But overall, it's a very huge transformation to this area. It looks completely different now.
Completely different. Trump giving D.C. the makeover it deserves. Same pattern across the city. Restore what was neglected and take back spaces the swamp let rot. Next up, a supporter shows the finished look and celebrates how beautiful the city of We the People is starting to look again. Here's another shot. Look at this. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Fountain flowing again in Washington, D.C. Making Washington, D.C. beautiful again. And now President Trump from the Oval Office today says one of the biggest projects is crossing the finish line now. From inside the Oval, gives an update on the reflecting pool, explains just how bad it had gotten.
It was bad and it looked terrible. It was supposed to be beautiful. It was opened in 1922 and it always leaked. There was a problem. It's called the Great Reflecting Pool between the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial. And right in between is almost 2,500 feet long. I could show you, it would be like the tallest building in the world laid on its side.
So, what does it all mean? It means that the Trump administration is unifying beauty, order, safety, and patriotism into one governing message. The restored fountains are not just fountains. The reflecting pool is not just a construction project. The Union Station cleanup is not just cosmetic, and the DOJ's $300 million Model Cities initiative is not just another grant program. Together they form one argument. Safe cities and proud public spaces reinforce each other. When government stops tolerating blight, excuses, and the anti-police madness, citizens begin to believe their country can function again. That's why UFC Freedom 250 matters. It's a centerpiece of a broader America First vision, one where the Capitol becomes a visible demonstration that national decline is reversible, and President Trump intends to prove it. And maybe that is what has the establishment so rattled. Because if Trump can turn Washington, D.C. into a showcase of order, beauty, and celebration and law and order confidence, then the entire excuse system of the left starts collapsing. They told you that rot was permanent. They told you disorder was complicated. They told you Americans just had to live with less. President Trump is showing the opposite. Clean it up, fix it, secure it, celebrate it, and let the country see the difference. Even the fight over that Kennedy Center ruling shows the same old network of anti-Trump insiders still trying to block him. But the bigger picture is already visible. This White House is building towards America's 250th birthday as a national comeback story. If you think America's capital should be clean and safe and beautiful and unapologetically patriotic again, then share this report and subscribe to Next News. Drop your answer below, yes or no. Should UFC Freedom 250 become the symbol of America's comeback? I want to hear from you. Let's have a conversation. And let's have a conversation over here. See that number on your screen? See those words? Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. That's how we continue the conversation when the notifications never arrive from YouTube, when the algorithm decides to bury us under countless videos from CNN and MSNBC because they've flipped the algorithm. We stay connected regardless. We're just going to bypass the middleman. It's going to be me and you. I'll send you the messages that matter. One message, Monday through Friday, 8:45 Central, every night. You'll get the updates that you need. And since we're talking about the Freedom 250 celebration, Celebrate with us. We've got some new gear down in the merch shelf below at the link. Check it out, find something you like, and celebrate America 250 with us.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.